In this presentation, we will discuss how to write research proposals. This presentation will explain about the headings, titles, subheading, and contents under each heading of research proposal. These research proposals will be finally submitted for the approval of thesis writing. Title of the title page of the research synopsis. Title page of research synopsis should include the following items. Title of the research means topic of your research. Topic of the research should be self-explanatory. It should include all your variables and it should be very much clear. If there are some key terms in that title, that key terms you will explain in the introduction of the research. Then you will have the university or the college monogram on the title page, because this will tell you about your area of discipline and your department. Then the name of the researcher, then name of the supervisor, and then name of department and university. In our case, because you are the students of Punjab University, you can write down the University of Punjab also, and you can write down the University of Home Economics also. Introduction of research. Now this introduction part is actually the introduction of your research topic, or you can say what you want to research. We all know that in research we answer different questions: what to research, why to research, how to research, and for whom to research. So this part, introduction, is actually about what to research. It includes all the variables and their relationships, their comparison, whatever you want to do. But this introduction part should be fully supported by the literature review, which I will explain it to you in the next slide. Introduction. Uh, in introduction, you will quote different researches with in-text citation, and that in-text citation must have something in the must be referred in the references section also. Literature review is basically uh, is the major support of your research, because it will guide you about the methodology of your research. All available literature review should be studied thoroughly, and the technique of paraphrasing should be used to write the literature in the introduction part. You can have a subheading of literature review under the heading of introduction, or you may not have this subheading. You just incorporate literature review in the introduction. In-text citation method, every university have different in-text citation methods. So for Punjab University, your format is APA format for in-text citation and references also. Statement of the problem is a subheading under the introduction. In this subheading, researcher should write his or her research statement. It should clearly explain why to research. Now this is the part where you will tell your uh, reader, or you should be first clear that why you want to undertake this research, why this research is needed. So you will completely state. Now it will include, of course, your title of research also, but you will narrate it in the form of a statement. You will support it with your justifications, that why you think that this research is needed. Significance of the study. Significance mean that who is going to be the ultimate beneficiary of this research, what is the importance of this research, what is the rationale of this research. So under this subheading, researcher should write the ultimate beneficiary of their research. All researchers are addition in existing body of knowledge. This is the basic purpose of every research. So you will write under this heading that this research will add something new in the body of knowledge. At the same time, you will write down that this research is very important and significant for the professionals of this field. For example, all researches in interior design are beneficial for the interior designers, because ultimately they will take advantage of these researches to design something uh, as a consumer, to design something which consumer will ultimately appreciate. Now, next subheading under introduction is objectives of the research. Objective of research are those statements which you are going to achieve at the end of the research. Objectives are always written in the bullets, and for the beginners, three objectives are enough. Objectives should be smart. Now, this is the word which is used everywhere for the objectives, because smart means that objective should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And because we are going to achieve these things, so we should have all these characteristics in the objectives, that you can achieve these objectives in some time limits. It should be very much realistic, you can reach there, it should be reachable also. So only then your research objective you will be able to achieve. These are your research objectives. Aligned with your research objective, the next heading is research questions. You will convert your research objective into question. There can be just the difference of statement, that in a research objective you will, for example, say to find the objectives of this research are to find out, and in research question you will write down that that this research has following research question, what is uh, or how we can find out, etc. The research objective under this heading should be written as questions. Questions should be aligned with objectives. Three objectives can be segregated into 4 or 5 questions, or sometimes it can be just 3 questions also. Keeping this in mind, that all your research will revolve around these questions. In some social researches, instead of research questions, we have hypotheses. In some researches, hypotheses are formulated mostly in social researches. These are the statement based on literature review. Of course, you cannot state a thing or a problem or give a statement or assume something without literature review. Literature review guide you how to formulate your hypothesis. Hypothesis can be directional or non-directional. For example, there is no significant difference in achievement grade of students in online and on-campus classes. This is a non-directional hypothesis. And in directional hypothesis, we have this example that students attend on-campus classes have good grades than students who attended online classes. That is directional hypothesis. Hypothesis is the assumed statement which you will gather data or analyze data actually to accept or reject the hypothesis. So in this part, you will write it your hypothesis, and you will write it like H naught, H1, H2. There can be more than one hypothesis. Two, three hypotheses you can make for one research. Methodology. Now, this is again the main subheading. After introduction, next heading is methodology. This part will explain you how to research. It should include number one, universe. The total population of research will be the universe of your research. Total population is total area. If you are going to study on human beings, students, you have, from where you will collect on which population you are applying those statistics, and you are collecting sample from that area, the total population of your research. If you are doing research on houses, on which area of houses you are doing. If you are doing the research on females, females of which area, total population, total number of the female, and from that number you will draw the sample. Again, a subheading under the methodology. So the number of respondents picked from the universe to participate in research is called sample, and under this subheading, researcher should clearly describe method of sample collection and sample size and range. Now, method of sample collection mean whether it is a convenient sampling, or it is a snowball sampling, or a random sampling, whatever it is. Data collection method. Under this subheading, researchers should describe data collection method in detail, like whether it will be a Google survey, or it will be in-person survey, or you will interview something in the case of case studies, in the qualitative research. So what is your method of data collection? Then tool of data collection. Tool, as you all know, is in social researches are some interview guides, questionnaires, and structured interview checklist. These are the tools. So under this heading, all types of tools, whether they are questionnaire for the social researches or the weighing scale or thermometer for scientific researches, they should be described with all their specifications, which version you are going to use of that tool, how you are going to use, and if the author of the tool is different, and you will take permission from the author of the tool also in the case of questionnaire, or if you are using some sort of questionnaire, that in psychology we call those questionnaires psychological scales. So these scales are developed by some authors, so author permission is important, and you will write it down in under this heading that you have taken the permission from the author. Some scales are available free online, you can use that, and you will again write their version, their volume, whatever it is. Data analysis and presentation. For the data analysis, under this heading, mostly you will describe your method of data analysis, and nowadays we use these software SPSS or other statistical software. So whichever software you are going to use, you will write it down the name of that software. How you are going to present that data? Mostly in our researches we present our data in the table, in the form of table and graph. So you will write it down under this, that you will explain your data, you will present your data in the table of forms and graph. Okay ji, formatting. Times New Roman will be the formatting, will be the type of writing. Then the font for heading and subheading is 14 bold, and font size is 12. Definition of key term. Definition of key term is very, very important to give. If you think that there are some words in your title or in your topic which need some clarification, then these definition of key terms you will give after the introduction. You will define these terms according to the dictionary also, but sometime if you think that your meaning of that term is different from the dictionary, then your definition will be the operational definitions of those terms. For example, if you are giving the word socio-economic level in your title, so how you will define the socio-economic level of the persons, right? So you will explain on, and you will define this term. Housing needs. Which housing, how, what is your meant by housing need? You will explain this key terms. For references, we use APA format, and software like EndNote and Mendeley can be used to make the references list. Thank you very much.